Let's walk through some demos of some of these apps. So let's go into a demo. So as you can see, I have the Outlook app, I have Excel, Word, PowerPoint, To-Do, Teams, OneNote, OneDrive. I also have Dynamics 365 app, Flow, Power Automate, Office Lens, Power BI, Power Apps, SharePoint. So those are some of the apps I'll be showing off today. Let's start off by going to Outlook. So as you can see, Inbox is very similar to Inbox I would have on the desktop client. I've pretty much all the same functionality. I can filter only unread messages. I'm right now seeing a focused inbox. I can see other inboxes as just like I can with the desktop application. If I want to compose a message, I can do the same thing. Just hit compose, start typing the email address I want to send this to. So if I want to send this to Amy, I can do that. Select her email address, put in a subject line, and normal email functionality. I can also go to a calendar. So if I click on the calendar app, I can see my calendar for today's agenda. I can switch to a daily calendar, 3-day or a monthly calendar as well. I can switch months. I can see other calendars that I may have access to also. Some of the other things I can do is if I go back to my email, I can search. So if I type search criteria, I can search a specific contact. I can also search files that I've recently been working with and can click through those as well. So that's just some of the basic functionality of the Outlook client. If I wanted to create a contact from a business card, I could also do that. So if I hit create up here, I can also scan a business card and create a contact from that as well. So if I wanted to create a contact from a scanning a business card, I could, as I showed before, scan business card. So this will bring up my camera, and from there I can just basically bring up a business card, hit capture. It'll capture the business card for me. And as you can see, it's populated my name, my position, phone numbers, email address, address information. So, and then I would just hit save here. So a very quick way to create import contacts from business cards. Let's now look how we can be more productive with OneDrive. So OneDrive, just like the desktop app, holds files and folders. I can see here are the current files that I have. Here are the recent files that I've accessed. Here are files that have been shared with me in my organization. I can also click on libraries and see different SharePoint sites that I have access to that have files in them. So I'm just going to go back to files. I can now click on a specific file. So as an example, let's say I want to see this Contoso file. I can click on that file. It will open up the file for me in a preview mode. I can then click the Excel button in the bottom right hand corner and actually open this file up within Excel. So once this file is open, I can then work with it just like I would with an Excel worksheet. So I can select a particular cell. I can click the drop down here in the bottom right hand corner, change the fill color if I want to a different color. I can add a comment to a particular field, so I can put a comment in there if I wanted to. I can mention someone as well. So we're going to mention Amy here. Please review. I'm sharing this file with Amy because she doesn't currently have access to it. And as you can see, I can see my comments in the file, other comments that I've posted. So I can close that. I can also do other things just like I would with an Excel worksheet. So I can filter, I can change between the different tabs you would see in normal, the desktop version. So home, insert, draw, formulas. So if I select draw, and now my menu selection is with draw tools. I can change that to be formulas. I can see normal formulas that are available to me as well. I can go back and forward. So I can see very similar to normal desktop version. If we go back to OneDrive now, let me just go back there. We're just going to back out of this. So as you can see, I have access to folders. So I can see Power BI reports that are in here, which we'll review later. But I just want to jump over to OneNote for a second. So OneNote, if you're familiar with the desktop version, it's sort of like a physical notebook, but a digital version of that. So here's some notes. If I'm on, customer site, I can go to store visits. Here are different sections and pages that I have available to me. So let's just select one of these. And here's some notes that I took. So I can start typing in here, taking pictures, putting voice notes. Those are all options that are available to me. So I can just start typing in here. Saving that. Just go back out of there. So as you can see, it's very, very easy to use. There's also something called sticky notes. So I can create short notes for myself in here. And we'll just call this test. Press enter. So here's another sticky note I've created. And I can also use the search capability. So if I click the search button here, I can search for a particular notebook. So if I start typing in webinar, as you can see, it's returning where it's finding the word webinar in the sticky notes. I can also do that within the notebooks themselves or pages within the notebooks. So that's just a quick overview of using OneNote, very similar to the desktop application. So if I go back to our OneDrive location again, and we were to go to recent, let's go to documents that are shared with me. So I do have access to Word and PowerPoint, so very similar to what I was just looking at. If I go to the Contoso Q&A procedures here, I can see a preview of the Word document. I can also drill into it. Brings up Word mobile app here. So just wait till that comes up. So I can work just like I did with Excel, very similar to working with, here's a table, and I can put a value in here just by clicking the edit key at the top here, and now I'm in the table of the Word document. So if I put test 2 in here, you can go down to next cell. So very similar. I have options where I can change the menu that I'm looking at, and that'll change the navigation options that are available to me. So check that off. So now that I'm done with the document, let's go back to OneDrive once again. And I'm just going to go show you what PowerPoint looks like. So this could be very useful if I bring up a specific PowerPoint. You will see that it's showing me the PowerPoint itself, but I can drill into this and bring up the actual PowerPoint application. Where this is useful is if you're doing a presentation, I could have the PowerPoint up on my mobile device. If I press play here, and I could actually see the PowerPoint. In this case, there was only one slide in it, but I could see the notes themselves, as you can see at the bottom here, that would be related to that slide. Another app we have access to is Power BI. So let me open that up, show you what that looks like. So I see home page here, or the activity page comments. So let's pull up the Contoso webinar dashboard. So as you can see, I have a dashboard that's available to me with reports on it. I can also see a report instead of the dashboard, so Contoso opportunities. So here's the report layout, and as you can see, I can choose different options that are available to me. Apply a filter, change which page I'm looking at. So I'm looking at the sales page, but I could see open opportunities for Contoso here, and just scroll down. So it's a little bit smaller on a mobile device, but it's still, depending on the design of your reports, definitely still usable. So let's jump back to the reports once again. So as you can see, I'm switching between portrait and landscape mode with the device to see different reports here. So let's just jump back to the dashboard for a second. The other thing I can do is I can comment on a particular value. So if I'm select on this particular element of the dashboard, I can click up here, and I can actually add a comment. So we'll just put test in here and send. So this is adding a comment to the report. So now if I jump back out of here, close the comments section. So when I'm on a particular object, I can click and see the objects. If I mention someone, it's going to also send them an email with something you've put in there. So if I was, Jeff Hay here, I can say, please review this particular figure, and it'll actually send them an email when reviewing the values that are on the dashboard. I can also, if I'm on a particular object, so we'll just close the comments down here, I can annotate, draw, put faces on something. So I can put something right here as an example. So I'm just going to leave that for now. So we can drill in from the dashboard object into the report. So once again, I can see that. I can click this expanded view up here just to see more screen real estate. So pretty easy to work with. But as I can see, I can drill into, change sorting. So all the objects are changing based on what I'm selecting on the dashboard. Another app that's available to me is the Microsoft Teams app. So if we launch the Teams application, so just like the desktop client or the web client, that's also available for Teams. I have chat available to me, so I can start a chat with a particular person or a bot. So if I start a chat with Carlos, I can start typing in a message, hit send. Now I also have the ability to include GIFs. So if I type a GIF, and let's do webinar. So here's some webinar GIFs that are available to me. I can insert that, add to message, and I can send that over to a particular user. Some of the other things I can do is I can insert a picture or photo by clicking bottom left icon. I can insert a file by clicking on that paperclip. I can also click here and, make something bold, underline, italicize. I can set it to be important if I wanted to. So just some of the options. I can also share the location I'm at, share an emoji, change priority as I already mentioned. So a lot of options when working with the chat and messages feature. Just like any other team or channel, if I click on backspace here and get out of chat for a second, I can, instead of being in the chat, I can go to the team. So here's all the teams I'm part of. As you can see, if I was to click on marketing team, so here's some chat that's happened, some posts that have been posted. Some of the things I can do is I can create a new message, and I can actually, this microphone icon in the bottom right hand corner, I could click on that and actually record a voice message to within the channel, or a message within the channel. So let me just go back there once again. I can also see files that are part of that particular channel, just like I could with the desktop app, or I could see other apps that are connected by clicking more here. So we have a wiki, but I could have Power BI or some other apps that have been connected to that specific team or channel. I can also see a calendar within the desktop app. So if you're using Exchange online, obviously you're going to get your calendar. Or Exchange on-prem, you will not see the calendar on here. But so, just like any other calendar, I can move around, do a search. I can click on a particular meeting that's in here, to accept it, see who's accepted it. So the other thing I can do is create a new event by clicking on that icon. So I can create a new event within Teams. We'll discard that for now. I can also look at calls, so I can see voicemails that have gone through Teams, or I can make a new call by clicking the call button, typing in a person's name, and actually making that call within, I'm not going to call Carlos here, but so I can make those same functionality I would have with the desktop app. As you can see, I can go to my activity feed. I can see recent activity, or my activity, or team activity, just as we saw before. So here's some video messages that were posted. We'll go back to the feed. So that's just a quick overview of using Teams and from the mobile application. So let's jump into a SharePoint mobile application demo. So I'll select the SharePoint app. So if I go to find, I can see a particular site that I'm part of. So if I just scroll up here, so let's go select sales operations. So very similar to the desktop application once again. So in sales operations site, we have a bunch of documents here that I can see, documents below it, quick links, and the top is news activity that has occurred. So I can see the news activity, files, lists, conversations, home, documents, notebook associated with a particular site. So if I was to choose this particular PowerPoint file, I'll just click on that to open a PowerPoint, or the preview of it. So as you can see, I can see that specific PowerPoint. I could open it and edit the PowerPoint in this icon in the bottom left or right hand corner. I'm not going to do that. I could drill into an email or Excel file or Word document all from within here as well. So SharePoint is sort of what's driving the stuff that's in OneDrive, and obviously Teams files sort of all housed within SharePoint in the background. So that's where we're seeing these files, are the same files in the same locations. I can also do a search for a particular file. So as an example, I could do a search. So overall I want to search for this comparative brief. So if I just type the word brief, I see here's a particular PowerPoint that we saw before, but this will search across all sites. So, and here's that same document that I had up before. If we go back under the Me tab, I can see all documents I've recently worked with. So just a quick way to access files quickly. Files that I may have saved. So that's just a high-level overview of using SharePoint on mobile device. The other app I wanted to review was Office Lens. So Office Lens is an app or a mobile app that allows, it's basically like a scanner in your pocket. So I could, scan something in particular that I want to scan here, take a picture of it, or a whiteboard or a business card. So a lot of options available to me. So if we take a picture of it, doesn't matter, it'll brighten it up and change it so that it's if I'm at an angle or something, it'll show a little better. So I hit done, and then I can just save this to a gallery, PDF, OneNote. So a lot of options where I save the file and name it. So webinar recap for today. We reviewed what apps are available, and we reviewed basic functionality in each one of them.